Arcadia is the homeland of the Fae, where banality and mortal bodies are but horrifying nightmares to scare childlings. The idea of Arcadia serves as hope for changelings, hope that the gates to their homeland will open once again, and although all Kithain have at least a few memories from having lived there during the previous ages, no changeling knows how much of this remembrance is real and how much is wishful thinking or fancy. In the end though, what is real when discussing dreaming? Hello, and welcome to a new lore video on Changeling the Dreaming. In the last video, we discussed places of glamour, and in this video we will talk about the dreaming. The dreaming is a realm created by the creativity, fantasies, and revelries of humanity, a realm of infinite possibilities outside and separate from the mortal realm. A boundless space outside of the rules of physics, time, and known reality. The dreaming is a place where anything can happen and probably already has. It is a place woven into the fabric of the mortal world, hidden behind and without, though its magic and influence can affect the physical world and those that live in it. The dreaming was once the home of all fairies, but since the shattering, the dreaming has become a wild, unknown place to those that once lived there. The dreaming and the mundane world were separated during the Sundering, but once the dreaming was cut loose completely from the Fae during the Interregnum, its secrets were lost and its borders became more dangerous. Those changelings that try to explore it find it full of bizarre, undefinable dangers and wonders that can destroy them as quickly as banality. In fact, the dreaming brings with it its own dangers, as changelings who enter are faced with a place that can overwhelm them with glamour. A changeling must struggle to maintain equilibrium while in the dreaming or risk falling into bedlam and becoming lost to the dreaming forever. The boundaries of the dreaming have yet to be identified if they even exist at all. Changeling scholars who seek to study the dreaming come away with conflicting conclusions, but most agree that shrugging and saying it's very big might be the closest correct answer. The three divisions of the dreaming are known as the near dreaming, the far dreaming, and the deep dreaming. The near dreaming is the part of the dreaming that lies intertwined and alongside the mundane world. Its reality is influenced by mortal structures and locations, and while its magic leaks into the physical plane, its landscape often mirrors known areas in the mortal world. Those mirrored locations always come with an exaggerated twist, as impressive mountains in the physical world might become death-defying peaks, and sprawling urban housing developments may become a warren of imposing, claustrophobic dwellings. The near dreaming responds to the influence of mortals in the area as well, spawning chimerical locations created by the thought and feelings of the mortals that live there. Just like the dreaming can take its cues from the mortal landscape, the power of a strong changeling ruler can influence the area as well. Freeholds often have pockets of space within the near dreaming, and the near dreaming often reacts to the moods, needs, and experiences of the changeling community within the freehold by changing the landscape and structures around them. The influence of changelings on the near dreaming helps keep the locations more stable, but one should never mistake the near dreaming for the mortal world. It would be hard to do so since the near dreaming is a place of heightened sense, color, and feeling. Smells are more vivid, while colors that once seemed mundane become richer and new. Emotions are also more powerful within the near dreaming, and pleasure, happiness, or excitement are intoxicating. Unfortunately, that also means fear, rage, and sadness are equally as strong, and it's as possible that a slight gesture can lead to an outbreak of violence as to bonds of new friendship. Kithain may enter the near dreaming through trods that connect one freehold to another along the Silver Path. These trods are often the easiest and safest to traverse, and only the paths furthest out in the near dreaming have begun to degrade and fail. Beyond the borders of the near dreaming, beyond the more reliable trods and familiar landscapes, a traveler reaches the far dreaming. Here the path can become difficult to follow and even fade away altogether, leaving travelers lost in increasingly unfamiliar territory. Travel in this area is dangerous because of the ever-shifting, unpredictable nature of the area. Only very powerful trods can go directly into this part of the dreaming, and many let off in areas where they weren't intended initially to go. The experience of traveling into the far dreaming is like falling off the map into the ocean where "Here be dragons" is written. The far dreaming is full of creatures that pass deeper into the dreaming to escape the encroachment of the mortal world's influence on the near dreaming. Creatures from Arcadia that escaped through the gates may have found themselves trapped once the gates swung shut, and now exist lurking in the reaches of the far dreaming, waiting for travelers to happen by. These creatures and the chimera that make up the far dreaming are alien and unpredictable, and might as easily reward an intrepid explorer as enslave them or engage them in a battle for their lives. Many see the far dreaming as a challenge to be conquered and lead expeditions into the space to discover what secrets it may hold. This can often backfire as explorers encounter dangerous obstacles or horrific creatures, or else lose their grip on their mortal side and tumble head over heels into bedlam. None but the most powerful changelings and chimera can stay long in the far dreaming, but those who do make an indelible impact on the landscape around them. The land responds to the thoughts and deeds of the creatures that live there and adapts to their every whim. The shifting landscape is so unpredictable as to throw off any seasoned traveler. Yet a changeling can rely upon their arts to work in the far dreaming, and with even more ease and dramatic results than in the near dreaming. Travelers who attempt to use the far dreaming to go from place to place report that one can get to their destination in record time, provided they don't get lost. Time during travel can completely warp on itself, extending trips in the far dreaming for years, only to return a traveler to the mortal world the same instant they left. For any who wish to travel further into the dreaming, they must first seek out the far dreaming before taking the next step deeper into the unknown. The lands of the deep dreaming are largely cut off from the mortal world. Only a few trods lead to this wholly unpredictable and constantly shifting landscape. Travelers who have reached the deep dreaming report a realm untouched by the ravages of banality, and therefore the deep dreaming maintains itself as a place of pure imagination and expression. Anything can happen in the deep dreaming. The space is influenced by the strong dreams of mortals and the expression of powerful mortal feelings and creativity. Dream logic rules in the deep dreaming, and travelers must set aside all preconceived notions of reality while within its borders. Additionally, changelings that travel to the deep dreaming may often find themselves confronted with whatever ideas, dreams, or fears they have brought with them, manifested in chimerical form. The most terrifying part of the deep dreaming is that while it may spawn chimerical creatures or transform its landscape when influenced by travelers or powerful dreamers, often those manifestations take on a mind of their own. The deep dreaming does not always reflect what the changeling consciously wants, but instead manifests their deepest desires and innermost thoughts for them to experience firsthand. This is the nature of the deep dreaming, where the essence of dreams can run wild away from the influence of banality. In the next Changeling the Dreaming lore video, we'll talk about chimera. As always, thank you so much for watching. Now remember this, Kithain, it is dangerous to dream too little.